Good afternoon, class. My name is Savarore Evans, and I'm going to take you through poetry in English class. But we are going to start with what we understand about poem. What is a poem? A poem has got very many definitions, but we cannot have them at once here. The simplest definition we have got here is that a poem is a piece of writing in which words are chosen for their beauty and sound and are carefully arranged, often in short lines which rhyme. Below we have got an example of a poem. We are going to read it together, and then thereafter we shall answer the questions. The poem is about the experiences of people who go abroad to look for jobs, but again, find a lot of difficulties. The poem goes as follows. I put on a clean shirt and go to work. Which of us will come back? 24 moons, not seeing women, not seeing my hand. Which of us will die? I put on a clean shirt and go to work my contract. To work far, I go beyond the mountain, into the bush, where the roads end and the rivers run dry. Which of us will come back? Which of us will die? End of the poem. I hope you have understood and you can internalize. Now it's time for questions. When you are looking at a poem, you bear in mind that there are questions which you must look at, which you must answer. The first question is, who is the persona in the poem? What do you understand of a persona? A persona can be the speaking voice or the speaking person in the poem. Second, briefly discuss the subject matter in the poem. What genre is the poem about? Then lastly, identify 2 stylistic devices in the poem and show their effectiveness. According to the poem we have looked at, to mention the person in the poem could be a worker, someone who goes in diaspora to look for work, but again is fearing for what he could encounter. He's worried of how the future will be. So in the poem, there is a lot of desperation. People are not sure of what will come next. The answer for number 1 can also help you to answer the second question, which is the subject matter in the poem. Looking at what the poem says, people get off their countries to go overseas to look for work, but they fear of what will come after. They take long before getting back in their countries, before getting back their homes, and generally there is desperation in the poem. The last question, which is identify 2 stylistic devices in the poem and show their effectiveness, we can realize that there is effective use of a repetition. Which of us, if you can go back where our poem started from, which of us will come back? Which of us will die? All that is what we call repetition. And the effectiveness or the use of repetition in a poem is that it creates emphasis. It emphasizes what the speaker or the persona is trying to put across. Then we also have what we call rhetorical questions. Rhetorical questions, these are questions that you can ask, you say to the public or you ask yourself, but do not have direct answers. But the major reason for such questions is trigger the audience to begin thinking critically about what is going on. For example, of a rhetorical question is which of us will come back? There is no certain answer of about the number of people who have gone for work in diaspora or overseas that will make it back to their countries. So it arouses fear among the audience, and then be critical to answer what could be going on, in terms of people who go to work abroad. Is it good? Is it bad? And then calls also for action. Those are the two stylistic devices we have looked at. You can look at the poem more and then be able to understand what it is all about. For today's class, we can end here. Thank you very much for listening.